building here in Las Vegas, and people are always asking, why are all the abandoned buildings burning? Well, we're going to show you what they look like on the inside. I believe this is the key right there if you want to try it. We're going to break into this one with the key, so it's not really breaking in. These are what the buildings look like when they were built years ago here in Las Vegas. This is the type of structure. It's wood, and this stuff is old and dry. This stuff burns really good. You see somebody was living in here, kind of a homeless situation. You got your coffee. They do like the creamers. I know which hotel they got that from. Oh my goodness, look at this. Some 7-Eleven stuff. But you can even smell, if you were here, you could smell the musty odors. This is not ADA approved. They got a little lip here, but this is a cement slab on cement slab. They've added on to the building. It looks like the building was originally here, then they added a storefront to it. And the way that Vegas worked in the past is they probably didn't get a permit. They just kind of just did it. You can see the type of construction here. I'm no architect, but I don't know that that's how you would do it if you had a permit and building in today's building codes. Lots of wood. So once the fire starts, it just goes. Plus penetrations, when they drill through a ceiling to drop a pipe in like that, they're supposed to have a fire-controlled sealant around it. So if there is a fire, it doesn't just go through the walls uncontrolled. That's an 8x8, looks like. Those things just burn and burn and burn. It is a cement wall held up by a 2x4, but what kind of base is on it? A small piece of wood. This one's on a different piece of wood. There's no consistent spacing. This is the wiring. So once these caught fire, it gets right next to the wood and it just takes off. And there's no fire suppression system in this building, it looks like, even retrofitted. But this one's been empty for a number of years and eventually will be torn down. It did have plumbing. Look at this. Okay, modern lighting here. This is these are these 1990 halogen lights, or not fluorescent, whatever they are. I guess fluorescent. And look at how it's wired together and just kind of put on here. So when you see a fire like we saw the warehouse the other day and it just takes off, you know, penetrations in the wall again. Once the fire starts, it just burns. And so many of them, they just let them burn out because there's no way to fix it. You can't retrofit it. So many places now, you cannot put a water heater or a boiler on wood. There has to be some sort of a rock or some sort of a non-flammable base for those. This obviously was just put in. It does have grounding, but you know, if you actually check to see if there's grounding on it, is there? It does have a 3-prong plug. I wonder if we should test that and see if that works. Kaboom! Maybe not. All right, we'll go through this way. Small hallways, definitely not ADA. There's no 5-foot turnaround here. This used to be a bail bonds building down in downtown Las Vegas off Main Street. At least it does have some metal holding it together there. So that's a good sign. See the drywall. It's used for the ceiling. Paint, I'd probably want to test that paint. Some venting. Just kind of put together. And then we get to go to the adjacent building here. Oh, they're having a small meeting over there. Is that a whiteboard and a small meeting going on? All right, it's meeting of the occupiers. All right, this is where another building started, and they've cut the wall open to expand the building. And I believe this used to be a church downtown here for years. The restroom, makeshift shelving, ceiling. It's been a while since they've cleaned it, but they did have one of those pump soaps. So modern conveniences. All right, watch your head as you step through here. So in here you can see where they've broken in and a lot of graffiti, a lot of paint on the inside. Many of these buildings get occupied in the wintertime when it's really cold out. And so they come in here for comfort and they'll light fires. Many of the folks are smart enough to do it in the center here where there's a cement base. Others are experiencing hallucinogenics and possibly light fires in places they shouldn't, which causes the buildings to burn. This one you can tell it's a whole different construction. Look at the ceiling on this one. Almost like they came in and retrofitted the ceiling at some point. This is a much more modern than what we saw on the other side, but you can also see there is breakage through and penetrations, animals, birds, I mean, look at this. That probably was a window at one point, so they put up the plywood here, but it's been drilled and broken and kicked. On this one, I don't think you can open this. This one's actually screwed shut from the other side. You have some interesting, I guess, a window shade there. They put up the metal to keep people from breaking in. Someone had a double shot energy drink and a pickle. What? A hot pickle. Now they enjoyed that one. All right. And the fishing pole. So let's say you're an alien and you just landed on Earth, and this is where you ended up. And you see a Starbucks drink, a hot pickle, and a fishing pole. Do you immediately get back on your spaceship and go to where you came from? There is no intelligent life. Ooh, an old Coca-Cola thing. Is that a vending machine? That might be worth something as a collectible item. Looks like they pushed it over to break into it. Does make a nice sarcophagus or a bed frame. At some point here, we'll come back, we'll get some help, and let's lift it up and see what's on the other side. I wonder if there's still soda in there, and I wonder if there's coins in there. That would be interesting to find out. Over here, part of the church, the mirror, graffiti on it. Some of the graffiti is obvious, others not quite sure if it's gang related or just someone expressing themselves. But obviously, they've spent a lot of time in here. Love, joy, peace. Long-suffering, gentleness, godness, faith, meekness, temperance, and then someone drew on top of that. So that was the fruit of the Spirit as part of the church that was here. It's more of a community outreach than a church. It was kind of a Opportunity Village was located next to it, and then this was a place that people could meet, hold services, get help. Another door that's been sealed up, wash sink. These are what the abandoned buildings look like in Las Vegas, and so when you see a fire on the news or we covered it on YouTube, and you wonder why they just continually burn and burn and burn, and it takes hours to put them out, it's because it's built as a tinderbox. These are built to burn, I guess. There's not a whole lot of woods back in the day. These are built in the 50s and 60s and 70s. And again, you can see the cement construction, the piping, the wires, just hang it anywhere. Look at this mess back here. If one of these sparked or caught on fire when this place is a business, it just ignites everything. Old abandoned buildings in Las Vegas. We should actually do a tour of some of the historic ones. What do we got over here? Federal Mogul, sealed power, signal stat, speed pro steering. It looks like it was an auto repair place. Wow. Okay. Nicely kept clean. Look at all the filth and debris. And what is this here? Oh, it's an old newspaper. Oh, this will be fun. All right, hold on here. Let's see if we can get a date on this. See a date on it? Pull it down. Oh, it's also something that will ignite really good. What do you have on there? It's
June 13th.
June 13th of what year? 28? 2008.
2008.
Wow. Very cool. There's your, when you find something in a sphinx or in a pyramid or somewhere in a cave in the Middle East and they try to carbon date it, it takes a lot of effort and science work. Here, we already have that carbon dating right there. So June 13th of 2008, right before the economic collapse of everything. Very cool. Well, thanks for joining us here on YouTube and wherever else you might be watching this. The old abandoned building tour here in Las Vegas. Another water heater, miscellaneous stuff. Coca-Cola. Don't want to know what's in those bags. And of course, clear eyes. Because after you've enjoyed some sort of leafy product, you want your eyes to be clean before you go out and go to work again. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon right here on the tube.